The Genius Act, signed on July 18, 2025, marks the first major federal legislation in U.S. history to regulate payment stablecoins, cryptocurrencies pegged to fiat currencies like the U.S. dollar. The name stands for guiding and establishing national innovation for U.S. stablecoins, and President Trump called the greatest financial revolution since the internet. Stablecoins have grown in popularity because they promise low volatility and fast settlement. Before the Genius Act, however, no clear legal framework existed, leading to rampant uncertainty among regulators, investors, and banks. That all changed with Trump's signature on the bill, World Economic Forum. So, what exactly does the Genius Act do? First, it creates comprehensive rules for the issuance of payment stablecoins. Under the law, only permitted issuers, such as U.S. banks, credit unions, or federally chartered non-bank institutions, can issue them. This restricts production and greatly limits unauthorized issuance. Latham and Watkins. Second, it mandates a 1-to-1 reserve ratio. Any stablecoin must be fully backed by low-risk, liquid assets, primarily U.S. dollars, short-term treasury securities, or qualifying money market assets. These reserves must be audited monthly, and holders of large issuers must receive annual audited reports that ensures transparency and financial safety for investors and holders. A significant change. The law classifies permitted stablecoin issuers as actual financial institutions under the Bank Secrecy Act. That gives regulators strong anti-money laundering and sanctions enforcement powers over the industry. The law also prevents misleading marketing. So no more firms claiming your stablecoin is fully backed by the U.S. government or FDIC. The Genius Act also exempts payment stablecoins from the definitions of security under SEC laws and commodity under CFTC laws, placing regulation firmly within the banking ecosystem, oversight by the OCC or Federal Reserve, not by securities regulators. Notably, only permitted issuers can operate. All other entities are barred from issuing or offering stablecoins to U.S. users. That applies even to foreign entities unless they meet strict criteria, like registering with the OCC and holding U.S.-based Treasury reserves. Essentially, the Act also has extraterritorial effect. For compliance, issuers face severe penalties. Unlicensed issuance can trigger fines up to $100,000 per day, or even maximum penalties of $1 million and up to 5 years imprisonment. Non-compliance with redemption policies, reserves, or marketing rules could result in enforcement actions or outright bans. Importantly, in the event of insolvency, stablecoin holders receive priority in creditor claims ahead of other creditors. That's unprecedented protection for consumers. Ammo against previous cases where users lost funds in stablecoin collapses. Now let's look at the political impact. The act passed with strong bipartisan support. The Senate approved it by 68-30 and the House by 308-122, despite initial resistance. Trump personally intervened to incorporate the stablecoin package into a larger defense bill, making sure it wouldn't be delayed. At the White House ceremony, major crypto firms, Coinbase, Kraken, Gemini, Robinhood, were present. Trump called stablecoins a path to boosting short-term treasury demand, ultimately supporting the U.S. dollar's global dominance. The crypto market responded immediately. Total market capitalization surged past $4 trillion, with Bitcoin, Ethereum, and XRP posting major gains. Ethereum was up 20%. Bitcoin briefly reached over $123,000 before settling around $117,000. New York Post. However, critics warn the law may entrench big incumbents and stifle smaller innovators. Some argue it allows large tech-backed firms to act like banks without full banking oversight and creates loopholes enabling misuse in criminal finance. Analysts from Cato Institute and Moody's caution, risks remain. Stablecoins can still lose their peg during stress events, triggering crypto bank runs. There's no central bank backstop, and the treasury market could be disrupted by sudden redemption events. Meanwhile, as the act moves forward, other crypto bills, like the Digital Asset Market Clarity Act and the Anti-CBDC Surveillance State Act, are progressing in Congress. Together, these may form the next phase of crypto regulation in 2025. On another front, Trump earlier signed an executive order in March 2025 establishing a strategic Bitcoin reserve, backed by government-held Bitcoin, an effort designed to position the U.S. as a leader in digital assets. This complements the Genius Act by balancing regulation with state commitment. But this alignment between crypto and political power has drawn scrutiny. Many Democrats, once crypto skeptics, are now supporting Trump-led crypto legislation to win back donors and voters. Internal GOP dynamics even threaten firms like Coinbase if they're seen as too bipartisan. Loyalty matters in crypto policy now. So, the Genius Act may provide regulatory clarity and attract TradFi interest, but it's not risk-free. It shifts stablecoins into regulated finance, demands full reserves, and punishes violators. But it also closes doors for small players, may expose users to opaque government control systems, and, without careful governance, could destabilize markets in crises. In short, Donald Trump's Genius Act is a defining moment, not only for crypto policy, but for U.S. economic strategy in 2025. It codifies stablecoins into law, demands transparency, and thrusts the U.S. dollar at the center of digital finance. But whether it brings innovation or risk will play out in rulemaking, lawsuits, and market behavior in the months ahead. Latham and Watkins, MarketWatch. Backhand Index Point Right subscribe to 60-Second USA to stay updated on crypto law, financial power plays, and U.S. policy moments that shape tomorrow.